Man, I tell you what, every time I hear that intro, that beat goes hard every time. Every
It thumps
single
hard.
time.
The
That thing
beat
slap
goes
hard.
on and on and
That thing
on.
slap.
What's good,
That thing
everybody?
slap. What's up with it?
Happy Hump
What's up
Day.
with
Welcome
it?
to another episode of Sports Laugh and Chill. Got Dan in the building, Rod's in the building. Of course, yours
Yes,
truly
sir.
here as well. How's everybody Wednesday going?
All right, man. Another day. Beautiful things. Thank you, Father.
I love it. I love it. I know Dan's over there. He's had a beautiful day because he showed me those lamb chops that he put on that grill a little earlier. So I know
Boy,
he's doing solid.
hey, I'm having a terrific night. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a good hump day today, boy. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, everybody knows I'm in Florida. I'm good. Hurricane ain't there, just a little tropical storm my way. So I'm good on that end. So, you know, they didn't cancel work and cancel schools and all that stuff. So we just been having a an adult snow day with no snow and no
Okay.
hurricane. So, you know, the adults we've been kicking it, we've been chilling. You know what I mean? So y'all just happen to see my baby walk up out of this thing, boy. But yeah, so we chilling, man. Everything good. Like I said, got them lamb chops going. Got this mimosa in front of me going. You know, we about to have a good little conversation tonight.
You
Let's
know what that
go.
sounds like for me? But you know what that sounds like for me? Every single snow day I had growing up in Atlanta, when they thought it was going to be snow, it might be an inch or two. Boom, no school for a whole week. That's exactly
Loved it.
what it was.
Loved it.
Right.
Loved every bit of it. I love when it
Absolutely.
snowed. Well, I used to love when it snowed down there. Oh, man.
Right.
I know.
But no,
3 days off.
at least.
At
At
least.
least. But no, Dan, good to hear y'all are doing well. Of course, anybody tuning in from Florida,
Absolutely.
Georgia. Of course, I got a lot of family in South Georgia and Florida. So
Yeah,
hoping everyone's doing all right, and you know that you all are prepared and ready for the storm. And of course, if you could and needed to get out, that you could.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no, let's get into it. But first, before we do, we have an announcement. Again, time's ticking. Y'all want to go ahead, get into this fantasy football league, become a Patreon member, and we'll get it rolling. The
Mm-hmm.
draft's going to be announced here soon when we're going to do it. Rod's already ready to go. He's some kind of way, and honestly, has 3 teams, so you know he's trying to get that.
Have no
But
idea how I got all them.
I
I
don't either.
literally clocked. I checked in and looked. I was like, maybe somebody did this for. I was like, I don't even understand how I got 3 teams, and I'm just getting in it. I was like, this makes no sense. But that's why I just left them there because I was like, I didn't do them. So maybe somebody else may change the name. I don't know, but I didn't put them in there. So
We'll see.
it's only the
And like I
Cali
said,
Kings for me. That's it.
I can always
Mm-hmm.
find a way to figure out how to get the other ones removed. But like I said, that's the announcement. Make sure you join, be a Patreon member because it's going to be a lot of fun. You got fun ideas too for winners and losers. And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to reveal those. You got to be part of the league to find out.
What up,
absolutely.
Terry Bell?
Wait, I didn't get my email. I don't think.
So I put the link in our group, but send me your
You know how
email
that.
again
You know
too.
how that. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
how.
let's say send me your email again, and I'll get it to you.
The shizzle.
All right. Well, hey, let's get this thing going. We're talking about some things online. Well, here's
Let's
the
cook.
one of the deals. Shout out Marcus. Oh, perfect timing. You saw there was that
They're
Reddit
done
rumor that
today.
came out yesterday, and it was talking about Nick Bosa being traded potentially to an unnamed AFC team. Apparently, this is the same Reddit account that predicted or called the Christian McCaffrey trade last year. Now, of course, here's the thing that kind of goes against it. Jason Dumas, who's a very well credited reporter, media member out here in the Bay, said that his sources are saying that the Nick Bosa deal will get done by the end of the week. So here we go. Talking
Dumas.
about rumors. I know this is a lot going on here. What did y'all think about it? What do you see or what do you think is going on?
Dumas. What a name. Well, from what we're hearing from the GM as well as the head coach, they're not trading nobody. That was today. That was a couple of hours ago. Like I suspected. But I don't know what's the hold up now. Is it little minor things That's my biggest thing within it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Um, I want to know what is the little things that they're waiting to sign, and what is it, 3 years or is it 5 years? That's all. Let's just get it over with, man. Give the man the money. Shout out to Gina. She ain't here, but she was tripping earlier in our chat because she said 50 million to Bosa, and I was like, hell to the no. You ain't no way you giving him that man 50 mil. It just ain't about to happen. You give him 50 mil, no way possible. We will be trash. So, but anyway, it's all good though. It's all good. Whatever. 40, yikes. But hey, it is what it is.
Dan, I know you had to go through this for a
Come
top
on
tier
and troll,
defensive
Dan.
player.
Let's get it
Aaron
troll.
Donald already
Let's
had
get troll.
31 million a year. He held out. So I mean, even from your standpoint, what do you think of this? How do you see this all playing out?
Well, I mean, Aaron Donald is the highest paid defensive player for a reason. He's arguably in the top three every single year.
Let's go, Rick.
What's up, Rick? AD is the best. Like, there's a reason why people get new deals and they still don't top Aaron Donald. There's a reason why. Because he's the best. Now he's averaging 31.7 million a year. I'm thinking Bosa is probably looking for 33, 34 maybe per year. I don't think the annual amount is the problem with the 49ers. I think it's the years that Bosa wants. And I think Bosa wants a fucking 6-year deal. That in my gut, because I'm looking at it like, well, even if it was a 4-year deal, right? Say he wanted 33, 34 for 4-year deal, for a 4-year deal. Shit, you write that check today. You know what I'm saying? 4 years, we ain't got to pay Brock Purdy for damn near 4 years. You know what I'm saying? A 4-year deal? Hell yeah, let's get it. But I think Bosa wants 6 years. And if Bosa wants 6 years at 33, 34 million, y'all going to be cap strapped. And I know everybody going to be like, well, the cap going to go up and the TV deal is going to go up and so forth and so on. But see, that's when you get to spending money that you don't have. And then you start spending money predicting what your cap is going to be and all that bullshit. And let me tell you something, from a team that went from first to worst, you know what I'm saying? When that bill is due, you gotta write that check. And one of the reasons why we cash strapped now is because Matt Stafford, and the reason why we lost Jalen Ramsey is because Matt Stafford didn't want to restructure his deal. So, when you can't be like, hey, Matt Stafford, restructure your deal so we can keep players. No, they don't have to. They can say, nah, I want my money right now, or I want this, however, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how business goes. I think Bosa wants 6 years. Woo! Bosa 6 years, 33, 34 mil. That's what I'm looking at.
Is he deserving of it?
Bosa deserves to be the highest paid defensive player in the game right now.
No troll?
Huh?
No troll?
No. Like,
I agree. I agree.
Like dead ass serious. Like Nick Bosa is comparable to Aaron Donald. Like, I can see if there's some defense, like say for instance, Chris Jones, right? Chris Jones and Bosa play the same position, right?
Similar
Position, because Chris can play anywhere on the line, right? Nick can play anywhere on the line. He just plays in. My point is, Chris Jones wants a new deal, but does Chris Jones get paid more than Nick Bosa? I don't think Chris Jones has a DPOY on his resume, does he?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right. So Aaron Donald does, right?
Absolutely.
Have a DPOY, right?
You have 3 of them?
Yeah, fuck yeah, he do. So, I mean, Aaron Donald has been in conversation for fucking MVP. Damn, just DPOY. He's been in conversation for the league MVP. There was an argument that Nick Bosa could have been in the conversation for league MVP and not just DPOY. Just what, a year or two ago? Right? So to me, he is just as important as an Aaron Donald. And he's going to go to every Pro Bowl he fucking plays a season in, right? We know this. So if you're talking about paying for future money, we know Nick Bosa going to the Pro Bowl every fucking year. We know it.
As long as he ain't hurt. Yeah.
As long as he, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? As long as he's not hurt, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm with you. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. As long as he, because he tore his ACL his second year.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm saying that.
If Aaron Donald gets hurt, he's not going to the fucking Pro Bowl. Like, it won't be because he won't be selected. It's because he won't be. Because I mean, AD is you could just book him. That's why AD deserve every one of that 31.7. You can book AD for as long as he fucking play, and he's healthy. Book him. So that's Nick Bosa, boy.
What up, Bebop? I just be wondering, like, what's the hold up? Go on, Jordan. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, here's the interesting part of all of this to me, because I know, like, it was a good, interesting point that Dan brought up in terms of the career accolades, right, for Chris Jones and Nick Bosa, the difference between the two. And here's where it gets fun, because you talk about, obviously maybe place in the league.
What's up,
but
Christian?
then I got to look at what's up, Christian. I look at importance to the team,
Bebop?
right? In terms of, now I would be foolish to say that the Niners would be just fine without Nick Bosa. Of course, that's not the case, right? Like that's not what I'm trying to say here. But if you look at team setup and defensively, I would make the argument that the Niners, and I don't think it's an argument. I think it's pretty easy. The Niners would be better off without Nick Bosa than the Chiefs would be without Chris Jones on that defense. I mean, you just look at how they're made and how they're built. I mean, we'll see what happens with that second year. I think D.E. Karlaftis out of Iowa.
Yeah.
In this next year with Kansas City. But when you think about disruption up front for the Chiefs, it's all about Chris Jones.
All about
when you think about the Niners, it's Nick Bosa. Obviously, there's Armstead. Obviously, they paid all that money for Javon Hargrave to get there. So it's a little bit different. Now, at the end of the day, though, the ultimate goal, as we all know, for the 49ers, especially this year going forward, is Super Bowl. And if you're going to win a Super Bowl, here's what Nick Bosa knows. Here's what Nick Bosa knows. You need me to win a Super Bowl.
Period.
Which I think is the reason why he's going to sit back and he's going to say, okay, let's take a look around. Let's see. What's the rumor for Chris Jones? He's going to get how much? Okay, cool. Well, I know this team wants a Super Bowl. You need me to win one. I'm going to sit back until you get that money right. And not even just the money. As we all know, it's all about guarantees. What do the guarantees look like for that deal? So it's just an interesting conversation and approach to both sides of it. And it's so interesting that we have – it's almost like last year. Remember last year we had all the wide receivers trying to get paid, and it's like, okay, who's going to be the first domino to drop? How much guaranteed, right? With McLaurin in Washington, you had A.J. Brown, you had Debo, and I think there was one more. But, like, Christian Kirk was actually the one that kind of set the market down in
he did.
He blew it out.
He blew it
out the water.
Exactly.
It was like Christian Kirk got what?
Right. And no due disrespect. Right. And no disrespect to Christian Kirk. He's a solid player. But again,
he was the number 2 in Arizona.
Maybe I'm talking about in the category of in relationship to Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, and Debo Samuel, you are in a whole different, like, you're a tier below. You know what I'm saying? So now it's so interesting because we have two guys who are that A-tier defensive linemen, and both are kind of waiting to see what domino is going to fall first and what are the rumors.
Right. I agree.
So
but at the end of the day, they're not trading Nick Bosa. Like that's just
so wait a minute. So okay, Jordan, I feel you, right? But is it so far-fetched to say that they wouldn't trade him if the money that he wants is so outlandish? I only say this because I don't believe John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan. They're fucking liars. Let's keep it one. Let's keep it a buck. If we're gonna keep it a buck, let's just keep it a buck. This has nothing to do with me trolling or what. Nothing, has nothing. Let's keep it a buck. They are liars, dog. Like everybody lies. My coach lies. My GM lies. My owner lies. Everybody does, right? And I know that recently Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have been habitual liars, right? We love Trey Lance. We don't see him leaving. He's a part of the program. Blah 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 blah. Fucking blah blah blah.
Next thing
He's
you
in
know,
Dallas right now. Okay, so I don't believe in that front office. I don't believe in that coaching staff. I don't believe them when they say there's no way we're trading Bosa. There's just no. It's not happening. We want him here. He's a cornerstone of our team. To me, that just sounds like leverage or bargaining. You know what I'm saying? Trying to express to the other teams or whoever you're dealing with, like, this is why we want our asking price. This is why, because old boy not only reported that Nick Bosa was in trade talks, but he said there's already a team that has confirmed they're going to pay him what he wants.
which I mean, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, especially if you're any team out there and you are in playoff contention, or you're in. Let me change that. You think you are either in Super Bowl contention already, or you're one piece away from being in Super Bowl contention. Of course, you're going to want to look into trades for Nick Bosa. But at the same time, for me, here's why I'm saying San Francisco wouldn't. Like I said, the 49ers, as we all know, is Super Bowl or nothing. That's what the expectation and the standard is for them right now. So that being said,
with me.
You're not going to trade Nick Bosa to a team that might potentially get in your way of winning a Super Bowl. Right. That's just not going to happen. So that's another reason why I don't really believe the rumor. And also at the same time too, I just I don't believe the rumor. I also just feel like at the end of the day, and I never thought otherwise, like it surprises me the longer this goes on and the longer the holdout happens. I don't see Nick Bosa anywhere else outside of Santa Clara.
You're right, Marcus, because this is where I'm at tonight. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Marcus. And I'll come back to that struggle because I'm in the living room tonight. All right, so I got something for you, Jordan.
Fire away.
What if that AFC team that is confirmed that they will pay him what he's looking for, and it's a done deal and so forth and so on? What if that team is the Kansas City Chiefs?
I just knew it. I just knew that.
And that trade, hold on, Jordan. That trade involves Chris Jones.
So you still had to pay somebody?
But Bosa wants money that San Fran is not willing to pay. Chris Jones wants money that KC ain't willing to pay him.
So they swap?
But if Chris Jones wants a raise, and that raise satisfies him in San Fran and the years match and all of that shit, because I keep trying to tell you, I have a feeling that Bosa wants years. It may not so much be the salary. Bosa may want 32, 33. I said up to 34. But I think he wants the years. And I don't think Kansas City wants to invest in Chris Jones. I don't. So if a San Fran can bring back a Chris Jones, which is a great piece, and pay Chris Jones a raise in whatever it is on the annual salary and the years to where they're not cap stricken, who knows?
I just don't see it.
You're gonna give Kansas City the number one offensive player, and then trade him and give him the number one defensive player?
Well, not even that. If I'm San Francisco, here's the thing. I know Chris Jones can step outside.
But it's John Lynch.
But you know, like I know Chris Jones can play DN, but primarily he is a D tackle. What's the one thing we know
Right.
that 49ers already have set? They already paid
They
all
already
that
have
money
a
to
D
Javon
tackle.
Hargrave, and they already got Eric
Exactly.
Armstead. So
Right. It
it
wouldn't
doesn't.
make
It just
sense.
even makes sense schematically to make that trade happen. So
Exactly.
I know it's not the Chiefs, and like I said, if you are the 49ers, you are not trading Nick Bosa to the team that if the season goes how you think
Chiefs?
it will, that you're going to see him at the end of the
What?
year. You want
Right.
to play a pissed off Nick Bosa for a Super Bowl? Absolutely not.
On the wrong team of all teams. Now he has a quarterback that he believes in and trusts
Mm-hmm.
that already beat him the first time in 2019, and now he gets to go to that team?
Right.
Man, are you kidding? Hell no. That would be. You know what? Honestly, let's just say I'm gonna just go with this. I know it's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna
Right.
just go with Dan's thought. That is cause for getting fired. Period. Point blank, dog. Like, I promise you, if for whatever reason that was to happen, they need to be fired immediately.
Maybe that's why he's bringing it up.
Immediately. But
But
it won't happen.
but
Good thought,
okay,
though.
and to Rod's point, we was about to be family in a minute. I'm about to be Jay. So literally, to Rod's point, have they not done enough to be fired already? like,
No, not yet. I'm be honest, not yet. Not yet.
like,
It's
dog, like, hold on. Remember how Chip Kelly? I wish Unc was on here. Remember how Chip Kelly destroyed that Eagles team? How he got rid of every fucking all-star
everybody.
that was on that team, dog, and whatever the hell he was trying to do. They fired his ass so fast, dog. And my point is this: what else do they have to do to your organization in order to get the walking papers? What else? You've given up 3 first-round picks. You've gotten several quarterbacks wrong. Like, the only reason why they're in the building still is because they're winning.
That's it. Absolutely.
Hands down, the only reason why they are still in the building.
And them winning is
winning.
renting money right now. That they still
Absolutely.
I think they still have a month left in terms of this year's cycle, in terms of season tickets, all this stuff. They've already set the Levi's record in terms of revenue based off season tickets. And shout out my girlfriend Morgan. She's a big part of that too on their season ticket sales team. So she played a big part in that. Just hit over $1 million in revenue generated for them this week. So like they're printing money right now. So as long as you got people in there that are helping you print money, I think the Yorks are going to be pretty cool sitting back.
Hey Morgan, holla at your bruh, your big bruh. Anytime I come to town, bruh, I just need 2 tickets.
There you go. There it is.
But at your boy.
But no, before we move on to the next topic, I wanted to bring this up too because I know someone brought up
my bad. Hold
Bonilla.
On. Christian, no, I don't. Yeah, I been gave up on that. 2019, once we lost the Super Bowl, almost passed out. When it comes to sports, being brutally honest with y'all, when it comes to sports, I don't overreact crazy anymore. That don't happen no more. That's it. That was over with then, but no.
After I almost threw out my shoulder after the Falcons blew that lead to the Saints last year, I might have to be the same. Like, I almost went out. But I wanted to bring this point up real quick because I always love bringing up Bobby Bonilla situation. So for people that don't understand the reference, the New York Mets, when Bobby Bonilla was still playing for the Mets, they signed a contract and it's deferred payments. So every July 1st until 2035, Bobby Bonilla gets a $1.2 million check from the New York Mets. He's 60 years old right now.
He's not the only person.
Hey, he's right. But he's 62 years old. 60 years old, hasn't played in 22 years, but every July 1st gets a $1.2 million check. So that's the reference here. And I love seeing it. What's good, Unc? Hope everything's good with the fam.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing. So next one. This is an
interesting. I hate. I'm sorry, Jordan.
Go ahead.
I hate that you missed my Chip Kelly reference in regard to coaching. particularly Kyle Shanahan and Chip Kelly, because Chip Kelly was also an offensive genius. They brought him in
I
there.
know about it very well. We played against them.
So, but Chip Kelly didn't win. So that's why his ass was out of there. Okay, so
Chip Kelly was trash when he was with the Niners.
Yeah,
he was trash. He was trash.
But boy, that good old boy network is something else, Donnie. You get fired and get a brand new job, boy. You get to do it all over again, don't you? Boy, that network is something else.
Didn't he go to like UCLA right after that?
He's at UCLA now, still there.
He been there.
That network trash too. That network something else, ain't it, Jordan?
Well, they think that they're going to, not this year, but coming in the next few years with that big time quarterback recruit they had coming in. He's not starting this year. It's Chase Garber's little brother who played at Cal. But no, they think they have something coming up in USC the next few years. All right, moving on.
Yeah, we got
this
Nelson
has been
too.
Yes, y'all do. This has been an interesting one. Noah Lyles, who is a U.S. sprinter, I think he has a record for the 200 meter, had a lot to say about what was going on, about what is deemed a world champion. So I think how all this all started, some NBA players had some things to say to him. They were popping off about the lack of popularity of track and field in the United States. So he had this to say in a press conference after a race. He said, what hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. Now, so here's the question that I want to say, and before we all get into it, I'll say, like, for me, it depends. It's like there's some situations where he is right, some situations where he isn't. So with what he said in his comments, at least about the NBA, Rod, since I don't know where Dan just left, I'll start it with you. What do you think about what he said?
Wrong choice of words, but I actually agree with him. The reason being, if you look at how basketball is played and you think about it, your top players are European right now, for the most part, in the league. So if you look at how things are done and you were to categorize what it looks like, you have multiple types of... Okay, let me say it this way. The NBA is the best paying entertainment league in the world. That is what they are. But as far as competition wise throughout, you got to remember too, there are Americans that play overseas. There are players that play all throughout the world, and some of them that should be in the league, but they aren't in the league. So what he was saying, wrong choice of words, but I do agree with him. That's just my thought. I definitely agree with him.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that too. I mean, we're in a whole new era of basketball, right? A whole new era of basketball. So, yeah, we have a lot of European players. We've had European players. I mean, like, this was funny. So we got. Thank you, Christian. I'm so happy, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shout out to Christian, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you, Christian. The NBA has a lot of native Europeans, right? Because all white people in America come from Europe. White people are not native to America.
All
right. So let me say that for some of you all that don't understand this.
It's Kente clock time with Dan.
Caucasian people are not native to North American continent. This has always been a black continent, which is why you're finding pyramids and everything else in the Grand Canyon and Memphis and so forth. So let's not mistake this. Europeans in this particular part of the world are visitors. I don't know how else to say it, but Europe is where you're native to. All right. So, Christian, native Europeans. We've always had Europeans in the league. Larry Bird is a European. Okay. Steve Nash is a European. Okay. we've had a lot of Europeans in the league, so and a lot of European greats. All right, so they just happen to be over here in America. All right, so thanks, Christian, for saying that. But to get back to what I meant, I'm sorry, Jordan. Jordan.
I'm just laughing because I don't think that's what Christian meant by that at all, but that's where you went with it.
I think he did. I think he hit on it because I mean, because we'd be like Europeans and came and took over the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like we've always had Europeans in the game.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. I'm just saying,
You
like,
know
I
what
think
I'm
when he
saying?
says native European, he's talking like Jokic
native, so when
or
he
like
said native, I meant like I took it as native to like their land. You know what I'm
Marcus.
saying? Like Marcus, you out of control, bro. You relax. Let me get back. The point. the
Let's
point.
cook.
The point I was.
You did not make a sound drop with that.
The point, right? I was looking for it.
Oh.
Rod gave me nothing. but Noah Lyles, what he's saying is they compete against the greatest athletes across the world. So the NBA can't say they're world champions. They can't. You're American champions because when Greece wins in whatever league they play in, or Spain wins in whatever league they play in, do they say they're the world champs? No, you're in whatever league that is. I mean, let's keep it real. The USA don't win gold in the Olympics every year in basketball. That's when you're considered the world champs. You know what I mean? Like you're not world champs of nothing in America. You're American champions. You're the greatest of whatever league that you're a part of.
You're NBA champs.
You're an NBA champion. You're an NFL champion. I mean,
Nothing more, nothing less.
You know what I'm saying? You're an MLS champion. You're not America ain't no team over here. St. Louis is hot right now in the MLS in the West. So if St. Louis wins the whole MLS championship, they're not gonna be like we the champions of the world. Yeah, right. Any other country will whoop our ass. Like so what are we talking about? So I agree with Noah.
So that's where I say it depends. And here's what I mean, because I think there's a different context. I think you can have two world champions in a certain sport, but in different ways. In terms of like a league or club type champion. And then there's also like the actual international competition champions. So like to your point,
right.
Here's the thing. If you have like, let's say, so the best club in soccer, I'm going to use soccer as an example for right now. The best club last year was Man City, right? They won the treble. They won Premier League. They won Champions League, and they won the. I forget. There was one more cup that they won, and it's slipping my mind right now. But when you do Champions League, you're playing against the best clubs, at least in Europe, right? So the Real Madrid, the Barcelonas, Man United, like all those different clubs. If you beat them, you win. Now, again, so the point is, I'm not going to sit there and tell Manchester City. Then at that point, oh wait, hold up, you can't call yourself the best in the world yet. You have to play LAFC or whoever else won MLS. Like I'm not going to do that because we all know who the better competition is in that, right? So that's the thing for me. Like, yeah, to Dan's point, if you win MLS Cup, and obviously y'all know how I feel about this because I saw Atlanta United win one. Never in the world would I say, at least for right now, we'll see how things go years and years down the road with the growth of MLS. But you can't say you're the world champions if you win MLS Cup. I think Man City could say that. Same thing for me, though, goes for basketball in terms of course, those other leagues aren't saying that they're world champions. The best league in the world is the NBA. If you're the best team in the best league, I think you 100% have the right to say that you are the world champions. You know, like same thing goes with football. If the Toronto Argonauts win, the CFL, I think it's a Canadian Cup. I forget the name of the actual championship right now. You can't say you're the world champs because guess what? As great as the Canadian League is, whoever wins that Super Bowl, you can't beat them. That is the best team in the best league in the world. So yeah, you have the right to say you're world champion. So I just think it depends on terms of, different levels of what is the best league or what is the best league. And then of course, like I said, there's also still that separate part for the world. Because again, going back to soccer, that's because a English club team won Champions League. That doesn't mean England is now all of a sudden the best soccer playing league. It's Argentina. They proved it. So you can have two world champions, Man City, and then also Argentina can say it too.
First of all, even to add to your point, the champs this past season, Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you just said, to your point, if you pick somebody from the European League, over in, it don't even matter. It ain't here in the country.
Yeah.
Then they're the champ there. Then you play them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever team that they have in Serbia or something like that, then, and all the respective teams in their in those leagues, and you play against them, then that's when you become the world champion. But no, like you said, to both sides of it, you have the Olympics, then you have the NBA team. So nah, it's nah. But I agree with him. Just wrong choice of words. But it is what it is. I definitely agree with him.
That's why I said it just varies for me, and that's the reason why. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's money. Obviously the NBA, they pay the most, or this. Well, money dictates everything in sports.
Baseball,
so now, why all of a sudden
baseball,
is that going to be a variable for this? There's a reason why you see the Saudi Arabian leagues trying to offer people $1 billion a year because they're trying to get them there with money. So all of a sudden, like, why is that now a determining factor when we're talking about this? I mean, we could go on and on. I could go on and on about college sports and what schools put in X amount of money into, the stadiums, the workout rooms,
barbershop sports talk radio,
you name it. What's good, barbershop sports, and then of course
fellas?
the actual paying the players themselves. I could go on and on about that. Money dictates everything in sports, so I don't understand why that becomes a talking point in this conversation, because I've had that brought up by people before when we were discussing what Noah Lyles said.
The only league in America that can say that they're world champs is the NFL. The only.
I can't agree with
that. I'm talking about the only league, and I only say that because the football is not played anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, it is. No. I apologize. What I said. There's no other, like, if there was an Olympics for football, the United States would win every single year. Every single year, right? This is what I'm talking about. If there was some other team to go against in football, we'd beat the shit out of Canada. I don't care how many Canadian players want to play on the team together. We'll kick their ass. We have the best players in football in the world. America would be the greatest NFL football team assembled in fucking history. We can go against Germany. We can go against China. We can go against Russia. We can go against any fucking country you want to name on a football-related contest. America would win by a landslide.
So you're making my point with that, because now when you're talking about Olympics, that means you're separating by nationality. That's why I said I think there are two different descriptions or definitions of world champion based on the sport. Like, I think the Denver Nuggets can say they're the world champions. But now if Team USA goes and wins the FIBA Cup, they're also world champions. Like, there's a difference between the national stage and then, the international stage, and then also like a club league stage. I think you're muted right now.
Muted.
I can hear you.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted myself so I didn't want to interrupt. Sorry, Jordan.
You're good.
I have a question. My question is simply this.
Sure.
If you took Jamal Murray and Jokic off of that Denver Nugget team, is that team a world champion?
Well, it's a good thing I don't have to.
No, I'm asking.
But of course, no, of course not.
Okay, absolutely, you're right. Could that Denver's Nuggets team, with an All-American team, Jamal Murray goes and plays for the Canadian team, and Jokic goes and plays for Serbia? Is it he's Serbian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He plays for Serbia. Okay. Can that American Denver team beat the Canadian team or the Serbian team?
Who else do you know on Serbia?
Depends on how you're doing.
And hold on and absolutely
Depends on how you're playing it. Because if I go get get SGA, he plays
On the
for
Canadian
Canada
team,
also.
yep.
Yeah,
so hold on.
You know.
And doggone what's my little Duke ass player in New York? What's the boy I want to get rid of?
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett is going to play for Canada too.
Mhm.
Okay, so my point is, if we put together an all Canadian squad of NBA players, because Dylan Brooks going to be on that team too, right?
Well, they automatically lose.
Hold on. Well, you stupid. My point is, if we put all team Canada, all team Serbia, and every American Denver Nugget, because that will make a team, right? Every single Denver Nugget that's American on the Denver Nuggets against the Canadian team and the Serbian team, does that Denver Nugget team beat either one of those countries?
But
And all I'm saying is, if we're going to say world champions, then Joker is going to be like, I'm playing for my home country. Jamal is going to say, I'm playing for my home country if we're going against to see who's the best out of the three. So that's where I get a little sticky with the NBA saying world champions versus being NBA champions. And that's why I said the NFL can be the only league that actually says we're world champions and mean that shit. Like it ain't no other competition. It ain't no other guys leaving off the NFL team to go to their home country teams to play against each other.
So I got that, but here's where I'm talking about. Here's the difference, because even in that example that you brought up, you put the best Canadians together, right? Like you put, it wasn't just, hey, all the Canadians on the Nuggets, you make a team, and all the Serbians on that. It's like, no, I want team all Canada, team all Serbia going against what's left of the Americans on the Nuggets. It's not, okay, well, let's let Team USA make their best team, and then let's duke it out. But that's why I'm saying, in terms of, that's why I think that as a club, as a group, as a league, however you want to call it, the Denver Nuggets are the best team. And I'm saying this in terms of, like, you put Denver up against, like, who else is out there? Olympiacos from Greece, or Real Madrid in Spain, or I think it's the Illawarra Hawks. I think they play in Australia. The Denver Nuggets are winning that game. So they can be the best team in the world on, like, that club league level. But then when you go to the international level, that's a completely different world champion. That's what I'm saying. I think you can have two different world champions in one sport.
I feel what you're saying, but like I said, I feel what Noah is saying. There's no league going against world athletes. And like I said, the only organization that can actually say world, because there's no one else that can challenge the NFL. There's nothing out there that challenges the NFL. There's other things out there that challenges the NBA.
Ooh.
Because we have the Olympics in NBA, or I mean in basketball. Let me say in basketball. NBA is the organization. We have Olympics in basketball.
There's nobody challenging us. There's nobody challenging us.
But that's the thing. You're comparing. But that's the thing. You're comparing two different things. That's the whole point I'm making.
We're the only country right now that's playing arguably with the worst team. We're not even playing with our best.
No.
We're not even playing with our best.
right now.
LeBron
Yeah,
ain't over there.
it's
Durant
just
ain't over there. Booker.
it's just our young team.
We're playing a bunch. Yeah, we're playing with a bunch of other players. I just put it that
So
way. Good.
so let me
but-
ask this question just for the sake of argument.
Sure.
American Denver Nuggets team beats Team Canada, Team Serbia with Joker and with Jamal.
Team Serbia, yes. Team Canada is going to be a tough one.
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Does an All-American Denver Nuggets team beat a Joker Serbia team and a Jamal-led Canadian team?
I don't even know who's American from the Denver team. Just being honest.
But,
I do
well,
not know.
hold on. What my point is just
But to
that
answer your question, I think
This is
both games
all-
would be. I don't know. I really just the reason why I don't even know who's really all on Denver squad like that. Just being honest,
that's what-
outside of their starting five.
let's just
I don't
say
even know.
let's just say an Aaron Gordon led Denver Nuggets.
So I think that's like Christian Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Aaron Gordon, Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson, DeAndre
Don't
Jordan.
forget Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter
Yeah,
Jr.
so
is on that team.
Those are the ones I for sure know, and I don't want to speak on other
we
people's
could go.
They're not beating Canada.
We can go. Hold on.
That's what I said.
We can go.
They're not
What about
beating Canada.
What about? Whoa! What about You got what you call it on that team? What's your boy that just got paid in Indiana?
Brown.
What's his
Bruce
name?
Brown. Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown. Thank you.
Okay, Bruce Brown.
Bruce
So
Brown
are you
is
doing
also,
okay?
Bruce
So
Brown
this
is
is the
also
current
on that
roster
Denver
that I'm
team.
looking at.
Bruce Brown
You
is
can
also
have
on that
Bruce
Denver
Brown.
team.
There's nobody on that team if it's American led that's stopping SGA. No,
That's
SGA will have a Sean Alexander. What is his
Shai
name?
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Thank you. Him.
on what
Yeah.
team is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on?
He be on Team
Canada.
Canada.
He from Canada too?
Yeah.
I did not know he was
Yes.
from Canada.
Yes, that's
Hey,
why I said it. I was like, no,
They're not beating
No.
Team Canada.
they're not beating Canada.
No.
That's why I said that. Like, no,
No.
they're not beating Canada.
They're not
You
beating
can book
Canada.
that. They might get blown out in a game.
Not getting Canada.
They're not beating Canada. Sorry.
No.
Now Serbia, I don't know who plays for Serbia like that. I don't know.
Well, I
if
mean,
it's
we don't.
just-
We just know Joker on that team. So if you can eliminate Joker,
whoa, hold on. Luka Doncic, what team he play for?
No, he's not Serbian.
he's not Serbian.
What is he on? Croatia? What is he on?
He's
Greece?
let me look this
No,
one.
he
No,
ain't.
he's not
He ain't
Greece.
Greece. That's
Slovenia.
Slovenia. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. But nah, they ain't beating Canada. They'll get beat like a drum.
Yeah. So
But here, this is literally my point, Terradome. This is the point that I'm
I
making.
feel Noah. That's all I'm saying. I feel what he's saying.
See, like here's
Okay,
the thing
I
I don't
agree.
like about
I agree.
the whole topic, at least of how it started, is like once somebody goes at another sport, of course you have to feel the need to defend your sport. So then you go back to somebody else, and that's how we all got here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now I feel like even for Noah, there are gonna be some people that are gonna hate watch him, right? Then all of a sudden, if he doesn't win, then it's oh well, see, you don't have to worry about being a world champion anyway, because you know, like, man, we don't need that, right? So my thing is just like let's all accept everything for what it is. But like I said, if you're the best team in the best league in the world, I'm still picking that. Like again, the thing for me is like for example, Japan won the World Baseball Classic. Are you going to pick any like KBO team or any Japanese league team to win a World Series, a 7-game series against whoever wins the World Series this year?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah,
Exactly. So that's why I feel like if that's the case, if you win the World Series, you are the world champ. Because I mean, even look at Shohei. Shohei could be the best player in the world. Shohei didn't stay over there. He came over here and got paid by the Angels. And now he's probably going to get paid by somebody else this offseason. I mean, you can say money dictates that, but like I said, it dictates everything in every sport. That's nothing new or, just isolated to one sport or the other.
I just want to say I'm fucking this lamb chop up, bro. Like, in case y'all be wondering, like, what am I doing? Like, every time, like, the camera go off or I go on mute. Just in case you wondering, I'm over here fucking these lamb chops up, bro. Like, I'm with you. I'm listening to conversation. Like, I wish this stuff else. Like, if I would just be on camera and just be like, talking to y'all, if we were sitting in the living room, you know what I'm saying? We'd be talking and eating and drinking at the same time. So just in case you're wondering what is happening, I am fucking these lamb chops up, okay?
I think you won.
That reminds me of I think it was in Bad Boys 2 when they used Dan Marino's car. He was test driving. Said, "Hey, Dan should definitely get this car. Okay, maybe not this one, but one just like this. I'm gonna mess this one up."
Absolutely, man. Damn.
All right. Oh, here we go. Final topic of the day, because this one's been interesting, and I know we had been talking about this even going back to the first preseason, week 1, Niners Raiders. How's this all going to look? Well, as of late, we have seen Jimmy G saying a lot of stuff that's going on, right? Of course, there's a Sports Illustrated. That's Jimmy. That's Marcus's boy. We saw there was a Sports Illustrated article or interview, and a reporter asked Jimmy what he thinks about the Trey Lance situation. Of course, he's saying it's been messy. It's not the first messy thing that's been going on there. They asked him how they think that they've handled the quarterback situation in San Francisco. Jimmy just asked back, like, "Oh, what do you think of it?" So a lot. Obviously, Jimmy, the more and more time has gone on, the more he's kind of piping off about what's been going on with Kyle Shanahan in that situation. So, if y'all heard the segment, if you saw it, your thoughts about what Jimmy G had to say, what he's been saying, I think as a whole lately too.
Loved it. The reason being, I'm not a Jimmy fan. Y'all know that, but Jimmy knew, Jimmy had been playing the game, for a minute. But you got to remember too, Jimmy is about his money. Do I respect it? That's another debate. But his ex teammates, called him out of his name, called him a bitch and everything. Martell, wasn't that Bennett?
Yep, Martell's Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett.
Julian Edelman had something to say too.
Julian Edelman, absolutely. So it's like, they felt like he should have played when he was hurt back in New England. People were saying that, when they walked into Philly and saw Jimmy walk out there and everything, he didn't have a limp. They felt like he could have played, so on and so forth, could have got drugged up and played. Well, we all remember how last year went. And, he left the way that he did, ended up playing, the 49ers the way that he didn't get, traded because he knew he was going to probably go to a horrible organization. So he played the game. I respect the hustle. It is what it is. But you also got to remember, too, on the other end, and this is the only part that I can look at with Jimmy. Y'all kept Jimmy there. Y'all brought his replacement in just to let him go, arguably at the same time as him. You know what I'm saying? So it does look weird. He wasn't wrong at what he said. It does look weird. Like, y'all brought this dude in just a couple of years ago to replace me. And basically, he just waited a little longer, but we arguably left at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at Jimmy and what he said. It is weird. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I agree with it. It's funny because you remember I asked the question, and I know that, like, at least in the moment, because you, Wise, and Gina, like, y'all are so 49er centric, right? Like, that's what matters. So when I was asking before that preseason game, I asked, like, are we going to see a video, or what's the interaction going to look like between Jimmy and Kyle Shanahan, right? Because as you said, no, they're professional. Jimmy's going to keep it cool in front of the camera. But guess what? We saw nothing. And as we all know, the way sports media works and how people are with their camera phones and all that stuff, if there was something that happened, we would have seen it.
There's an angle. Yeah, there's an angle for everything. There's somebody is every viewpoint. They're looking at, arguably thinking, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, they would have saw all that. They never came close to each other, at least from what we saw.
Right.
That didn't happen.
So, I mean, even with that too, my question is, what do you think some of the other people, and I know they won't say it publicly, but I always speculate whenever some certain things come out or certain things are said, what people in the locker room think, right? Because obviously, I think we've all been around groups or people where it's like there's one thing you might say publicly, but then there's also what you think privately. So now my question is, what is going on? And first off, Christian, he's not even really sipping the glass. He was eating them lamb chops. That's the reason why he was gone for so long. He had those lamb chops going. But my question is, because we know this was a locker room that was so pro Jimmy, a lot of them. So now Jimmy's going out saying these things. What are they thinking about it too?
They knew.
So,
They knew. They've
course
been
they
watching it. They
of
knew.
course. Of course.
But you got people like George Kittle. He probably was like, after a while, he ended up siding with Kyle. I personally feel, because, he wasn't returning his calls and everything. So I feel like that's one part and one portion of it. On top of that, if I'm Kittle, I definitely will go with Kyle, because once you bought Brock in, your numbers went back up. You started getting active out there. I don't know how Jimmy was your boy for so many years. He had to be your boy off the field, because he sure wasn't your boy on the field. He wasn't giving you nothing. So
he was giving George something, because George is not a looker, but Jimmy is. And if Jimmy was connected with them Playboy bunnies,
but George is married.
I mean, you said what?
Yeah, he's married. He's been married for some years.
Hey, Mom. They were grilled, by the way.
What up, Mom?
What's up, Mrs.
What up,
Watkins?
Mom?
Love you.
So I mean, this is the thing. This is an important question for me. Hold on, pause. The important question for me: how are the lamb chops cooked? Fried, grilled, smothered, curried? What? All right. So, Mrs. Watkins, this is what I did. I grilled my lamb chops tonight. I did marinate half of them, because I wanted half of them to be marinated, and I wanted the other half to be dry rub. So I'm finishing up the dry rub right now. Earlier, I had the marinade. So I did use a little bit of, I'll just say this, I used a little bit of curry marinade, and I had a little bit of lemon pepper seasoning on that thing. So I could just, so if you even want to imagine how that was, that's what I was doing with the marinade and stuff like that. So, Mrs. White, let me get back to sports. So what you stupid. What I realized with Jimmy G's comments was that he had the same issues. Not so much as Trey being drafted, not getting reps, and so forth and so on, but the commitment part of the QB position is what he's being like, what's weird over there. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, Mrs. Watkins. So the issue with Jimmy was there was no security there. Like, the 49ers clearly didn't believe in him to be the person to take them over the hump. So they drafted Trey to be the heir apparent, only for Trey to be ready to be the heir apparent, and then y'all bring him back for a cheaper amount. Trey gets hurt. He's back in. Jimmy looks good, and everybody's like, Jimmy's back on track. I believe the term, Rod, we're getting back
Welcome to Niner football.
We're getting back to
Niner football.
So
absolutely.
So, Jimmy, like, okay, so after that happened, they was like, no to Jimmy again. Trey's going to be the starter. Trey starts, gets hurt. Brock Purdy comes in. They're like, no, now it's Purdy. So Jimmy G is honest in his comments. Like, it's a weird situation with the 49ers and how they do the quarterback position. It's a rotating door with quarterbacks in San Francisco. Like, this is ridiculous. This was unheard of. Like, I was old enough to see Montana, right? I was old enough to, after Montana, it was Steve Young.
I was too.
After Steve Young, it was Brian Greasy for a little bit of time. After Brian Greasy, then it was Gerbach?
Elvis Gerbach?
Elvis Gerbach?
Are you talking about?
I remember
you talking about for the 49ers?
For 49ers.
Yeah, I remember Jeff Garcia.
Brian Greasy wasn't our quarterback.
Greasy's their quarterback coach, but I mean Jeff
He's
Garcia
a
had that run
coach.
for a little bit.
Yeah, he was in Denver.
Who followed Steve Young?
Gerback.
It was Elvis, right?
Yeah, Elvis Gerback.
Mhm.
That's who I was talking
Gerback.
about.
Yeah.
Elvis Gerbach.
Uh,
So it was Gerbach, you know what I'm saying? And y'all roll with it. This is the thing. Even though Elvis Gerbach wasn't that good, y'all rolled with him. You know what I'm saying? Like Gerbach didn't just start for a couple of years and then he was gone. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all roll with him for a minute, but now it's like the QB carousel in San Fran is just here today, gone tomorrow. And he's right to say that it's weird there. It is. Like y'all are contenders and y'all QB seat is just open to anyone.
You remember there was that one, everyone had this one clip of Jimmy, and it was that Denver game. That's why I wanted to bring up what Terradome's comment was.
those plays fucking suck.
There you go. You remember exactly, and everyone had that.
I already knew where that was
what
going.
What did he say? Or what was, but now again, like I said,
Yep.
here and even going forward, I know we won't see this for a few years. I feel like just because of the situation currently, it won't be until after a few years, after a while. My thing is, here's why I love these player hosted podcasts. You're sitting here to tell me that maybe
I'm gonna come back to you, Terradome.
Oh yeah, you got.
I'm gonna come back to you, Terradome.
But you're telling me one day down the road, Jimmy G might not sit on one of those player hosted podcasts where it's a comfortable environment. You're with some of your guys, and he won't really tell the story of everything that was going on in San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
absolutely.
Jordan, which is why I go back to my earlier comment where I said I don't believe Kyle Shanahan and I don't believe John Lynch. They are liars. Liars. No, I don't believe them. To get back to, there go my boy Wise. Didn't follow Young. It was Garcia. It was Jeff Garcia.
So I just said Jeff Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Wise. All right. So get back to Terradome real quick. I do know a lot about 49er history because Terradome, you have not known this. Maybe you wasn't here earlier on the show when we talked about this in the beginning. I used to be a 49er fan. So me being from St. Louis, Missouri, the 49ers was my favorite team because my favorite player ever in history is Joe Montana. Joe Montana is my favorite football player of all time. When Joe Montana left the 49ers and went to the Chiefs, I became a Chiefs fan. That's how I had that Missouri connection. But when the Rams came to St. Louis, I dropped the Chiefs because Joe wasn't there. Hometown team, St. Louis Rams, the rest is history. So that's how I became a Rams fan. So I know a lot about 49er history because I was a 49ers fan. The 49ers was my favorite team as a child. And all I loved was Joe Montana. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like Jodeci, notice how he said used to. Stupid boy. You out of control, Terradome.
I just know my 49 history because, well, I just know football. That's just me. That's what I do. I'll pop my stuff for a second real quick. Let's say that's just what I do. So I just know
this is what you do.
Asking somebody, this is what I do.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Oh, you don't care.
We don't care.
Before I start going off about stat lines about JJ Stokes and Garrison Hurst and the boys, you don't care.
That boy Marcus said turncoat. Hey, Marcus, you stupid. But Marcus, you like every team, bro. You like every team that win. Like, what is I'm a turncoat?
Here's a question for y'all, and I want to know what y'all think. If Marcus were to have a favorite high school football team, is it Mater Dei? Is it De La Salle? Is it IMG? Who do you think it would be?
Old De La Salle.
De La Salle.
Yeah.
Old De La Salle.
Not even Bishop Sycamore.
I just watched that last night.
Listen,
I literally just watched that last night.
What you watch? Crazy.
What you watch?
Hey man, I would drop that dude.
What did you watch?
Did you see the Bishop Sycamore documentary?
Bishop Sycamore.
I ain't watch it yet.
What?
Man,
watch that.
Yes,
it's on Max.
Yeah, it's on
Bishop
Max.
Sycamore.
It's on HBO Max.
At it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bingo,
watch it tonight.
But here's the thing, Rod. Here's the thing. As much because I can't stand that coach, right? I can't stand him.
BSU.
you take a BS high.
BS high, my bad.
Whenever
Yeah,
you
yes.
take advantage of kids, right, especially kids in certain situations.
Hey,
I'm
FYI,
already
my laptop
don't
about
like
to die at any minute. So just in case I drop off, it's been
Got
fun
you.
talking, but keep going.
Got you. No, we're about to wrap it up. But here's the thing for
So
me:
you're
at
not
the
gonna
end of the
plug it in,
day,
huh?
he got everything he wanted. That coach
My
got
chops.
everything he wanted.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Like,
My chops are waiting.
he ended up on ESPN. He got all this money to make a documentary. He got everything he wanted out of this.
Same thing I said last night watching it. I was just like, wow. But he's the epitome of those people that truly have no morality in anything.
No.
None. For you to do kids like you
That boy,
have
that
no
boy sold
moral.
it. That boy sold us, huh?
Dan, listen, when you see it,
sold us.
but that's
You
why I
gonna
thought
be
Bomani
lying.
Jones had a great point. He said, of course he did that to black people, because the only people you could do that to are
Is
black
black
people, because we're
is
gonna
us.
believe that, hey, there's somebody out here, he's for us, he's gonna try to take care of us. So boom, we're gonna put our trust in him, and then lo and behold,
Sad, man.
this is what happened.
Sad, man. It's
Get a
sad.
rope.
Man,
When
Yeah.
you watch it, you're gonna be like,
Right.
whoa.
Here's how your emotions gonna be. You're gonna think some of the stuff is funny at first, and then there comes a point
And then
where it's just like, okay,
yep.
no, I'm mad.
Yep.
I'm mad.
I ain't gonna lie, because I was bugging up at the
Jordan said
beginning.
the
same
I'm not
thing,
even gonna
like,
fake
I'm
a
mad.
front.
I was too.
I was bugging up at the beginning because my man is so hilarious at the beginning. I was like, hey man, this dude funny. And after a while, I was like,
He is Terror Dome.
hey,
I
man,
love.
hold on, G.
Bomani Jones is my
Yes.
favorite.
And
Is my
Well,
favorite
yeah,
Bomani
journalist
Jones-
in the business right
Bomani
Shout out
Jones
Bomani
stayed.
Jones.
Bomani Jones, yeah, he
now.
stayed down there in
Number two
Atlanta.
is Chris Bouchard. Chris Bouchard is my number two. But go ahead.
Bomani Jones stays right there in Atlanta. I always see him at Fox Grill. Not Fox Grill, but
Used to,
Fox
yeah.
Fox Brothers.
Fox Bros Barbecue.
He's always there. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
Bomani-
always there.
Bomani, good people.
That was on
And he
Diners,
real
Drive-Ins, and
cool.
Dash.
Hmm?
But let's see, what's the Guy Fieri show? Diners, Drive-Ins, and
Well, you know what I thought you said? You said that was one of the places I dined and dashed.
oh no
I was
no
like, what?
no.
It
First
do be
off,
packed
one,
there. That's why I was
yeah,
thinking that.
I got you. One, I've never done it. Two, if I did, now you know I wouldn't put that over the airways. Oh no,
Man, look here, bro. I've done it
No.
plenty of times. Matter of fact, let me tell you a story real quick. I know this off subject real quick. Let me
Hey,
tell
man,
you the story.
hey, man,
Hold on,
hey.
Dan, we both know. We got stories. So let me tell you this. So one time, me and my boy Jamal, shout out, he might be on here watching. So we used to go to this Chinese spot. They used to be over here by our house.
oh, it was
right?
a Chinese spot.
Hey, so we ordering everything out of that place, right? So we getting everything. All of a sudden we asked for something like, yeah, let's get some dessert or whatever. Got the dessert. I swear to you. So my boy goes to the bathroom, comes out.
Listen,
Right,
right, Marcus.
Man,
I have-
please.
I have
I'm not
nothing to
tripping.
do with the
They're not
story.
even there anymore. I do. I don't care. So anyway, like I said, they're not even in existence anymore. So that's why I'm not tripping. But anyway, so when he give me the head nod, we dip up out of there, right? We gone. We take off, right? We run out. So we get around this corner and we look back. At the back door, the chef is chasing us. So we take off, right? We really gone, right? So Pete. So we get past him. We gone, right? We take off. We get by. So my mom was like, "Hey, let's get some Chinese food or whatever," right? It's like 2 days later, and so my mom is like,
Your
"Hey,
ass
boy,
in
go in there. Yeah, go in there and get the food." I was like, "Nah, I ain't going in there." My mom was looking at me like, "Why you ain't going in there?" I was like, "Nah, I can't go in there."
I think my mom's saying, "Don't worry, she's got y'all back just in case." But
Thank you.
I was
Mr.
17 at the
Marcus.
time. I was a
listen,
kid.
like I said,
I was a
Mom,
kid.
Mom, I want to get closer to the mic for this one. Mom, I promise you, I've never dined and dashed in my life. We're okay.
Oh, my mom know I have. My mom
Oh,
know
my
I have.
I'm trying to think of how many cities I've done it in.
Right. Oh yes, I've done that too many times, bro. Woo! I can sit up here for a whole
I'm trying to think of how many
podcast
cities.
and do them.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. We got a wrap. I got.
Yeah, let's
It's 10:45 my time, Eastern time. East side till I die.
let's wrap it on up. Any final words from anybody?
Love, peace, and air grease to everybody that's out here.
Thanks. I appreciate everybody. Hit that like button. You can follow me at Dan Marty Mar 33 on all platforms. Platforms. You got Rod, Callie. You got at Big 75 Fella. That's Jordan Watkins. You know what I'm saying? I am lit. Marcus, shut up. You know what I'm saying? You know we'll talk about it in the group. You dig what I'm saying? But
That Champagne is a
hey,
rolling.
I'm about to get right back to it. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and her grease, like Rod said. Love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all messing with us. Terradome, Christian.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Everybody that
Appreciate
came
all
through
y'all.
barbershop, Mrs. Watt, everybody, man.
Mrs. Watkins, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Shout out,
Appreciate
Mom. I love
moms.
you. Love you.
Absolutely.
Want to make a quick
Appreciate
shout
y'all.
out too. Last one
All the
before I
OGs.
hit
Put the
that
pressure on my mama.
before I hit that outro on us real quick. Shout out to Nebraska women's volleyball. So here's the reason why I say that. Y'all know, obviously, I'm a big proponent of women's sports, especially in college athletics. I'm wearing the W hoodie right now. Nebraska, they had women's volleyball matches in the football stadium tonight. Guess how many people they had in attendance for that? It was 92,003. That was the attendance
For a volleyball game?
for Nebraska women's volleyball. That is the highest attendance for any women's sporting event in the history of women's sports. And they did it for women's volleyball.
90,000?
92,000.
Wow.
Exactly. So for a women's sporting event, that's now the world record. So shout out
That was
to
the entire state of Nebraska, wasn't it, huh?
Well, I mean, that's the whole state. They filled the whole stadium. So no, shout out to them. That's so dope to see. I
They
know
just wanted to see them.
Nebraska.
They just wanted to see them chicks in biker shorts. That's all. They ain't slick.
Well,
Sorry, I had to
first
go
off,
there.
if you're sitting in the nosebleeds of a football stadium, you can't see what's going on in the biker shorts anyway. But
Hey, man.
Those binoculars.
you better have some good ones. You're just gonna be up there looking at the scoreboard like, okay, what's going on? But no, for real, it's always dope to see. It's always dope, for me to see that investment and that support for women's sports. So 92,000 for women's college volleyball. That's dope.
That's dope. Congratulations to women's sports. My battery literally is telling me it's about to blow.
Well, that's perfect because guess what? We out.
the outro.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Salute.
Another great show, brother.